In 5 short years, Jaguar has transformed its F-Type lineup into a mind-boggling tangle not at all like a wad of yarn fixed by a catnip discombobulated cat. To mine, the 400 Sport checked on here is currently the third 6-barrel F-Type. It joins a car and convertible family that propelled with 340 and 380 horsepower 6-chamber variations and a 495 horsepower V8 demonstrate, however, has since extended by method for a section-level 4-barrel motor, discretionary all-wheel drive, an accessible manual transmission for certain V6 trims, and the sky is the limit from their intense V8s, including a range-topping 575 horsepower SVR. Checking each motor tune, transmission, drive design, and body style, there are 24 unmistakable F-Type changes to look over, with 4 chambers and $65,000 isolating each finish of the family. It sounds insane until the point when you consider that Porsche's 911 Club has more individuals and traverses an even more extensive value range. The new for 2018 400 Sport is really 4 variations in one. You can have it with back or all-wheel drive and as a roadster or a convertible. The 400 Sport's characterizing highlight is a 400 horsepower supercharged 3.0-liter V6 motor. It is a similar motor utilized as a part of the lower-yield 6-chamber F-Types, changed for a couple of more horses. Pinnacle torque holds at an indistinguishable 339 lb-ft from in the 380 horsepower adaptation, only 7 lb-ft more prominent than in the 340 horsepower variation. Like almost the whole F-Type lineup, the 400 Sport utilizes a sharp-witted 8-speed program transmission. A 6-speed manual is constrained to lesser variants of the V6. Manual apparatus determination is conceivable by means of the move lever or a couple of directing wheel-mounted move oars and creates satisfyingly brisk reactions. Other 400 Sport particular things incorporate a more profound splitter and rocker board augmentations, the previous wearing clever yellow 400 content, an obscured raised diffuser, and 20-inch wheels. Puma additionally hurls in bigger width raised brake rotors, dark painted calipers, 12-way control worked on seats, and yellow sewing for the all-dark inside. Costs begin at $90,495 for the back-drive 400 Sport Roadster and ascend to $93,595 for the convertible. All-wheel drive adds $3,000 to every rendition. Our everything-wheel drive Roadster test auto in this manner rang in at $93,495 before choices. Not at all like most F-Types, the unique release 400 Sport doesn't offer numerous additional items. The model comes standard with a warm directing wheel, an 8.0-inch touchscreen with root, capstan seats, rain-detecting windshield wipers, and Jaguar's configurable dynamics driving mode selector. Purchasers can look over 3 paint hues: height, silver, or dark, and the main complex alterations one can make to the inside are adding calfskin to more surfaces, supplanting the main event with suede-like material, or decorating the middle support with carbon fiber. Our auto profited from that last redesign $765, in addition to the Climate 2 bundle $1,430, that brings DwiAutoZone programmed atmosphere control, a warmed windshield, and warmed and cooled seats. A $1,175 settled all-encompassing sunroof. A carbon fiber rooftop additionally is accessible, $185 auto-darkening entryway reflex, a $870 Meridian and Compass sound framework, a $410 control-worked liftgate, and a $460 blind side checking framework brought the aggregate to $98,790 and about depleted the alternative sheet. Here we'll indeed call attention to that F-kinds of all stripes stay veritable deals among sports autos and GTs from blue-chip European automakers. Costs for Porsche's 911 and Mercedes-Benz's SLR simply moving around where the Jaguar beat out. This rendition isn't the speediest 6-barrel F-Type we've tried, regardless of being the most effective. On the other hand, it's just a single saddled with all-wheel drive. A lighter, raised drive, 380 horsepower programmed achieved 60 mph in 4.3 seconds, 0.1 seconds snappier than the somewhat porky 400 Sport. All F-Types have somewhat of a weight issue, and all-wheel drive includes much more pounds. We expect that in an auto-AWD or RWD-to-RWD correlation, the 400 Sport would out-accelerate its lesser 6-chamber partners, if just barely. Regardless of whether the all-wheel drive dulls a touch of the F-sort's off-the-line fervor, it includes unmistakable footing while leaving corners under power. We scored 0.98 g of hold on our skid pad, putting this 400 Sport close to the highest point of the heap of 6 and 8-chamber F-types we've tried. The framework is tuned to support sending motor torque to the back pivot, which means throttle on oversteer is still constantly accessible at the forceful flex of a correct lower leg. Now and again that turns out to be relatively essential, as the generally nose-overwhelming Jag tends to understeer at its hold restrict. As in other F-types, the body remains level through corners and wheel control over knocks is astounding. The brisk and exact electrically helped control guiding offers disappointingly little street feel. In spite of the fact that a ton of present-day autos come up short this touch test, it's a particularly vital wellspring of data in sports autos, for example, the F-type. Less to pardon the issue than to change the subject to rosier themes, relatively few autos resemble this Jaguar. Especially in roadster appearance, the F-type remains a shocker even 5 years after its underlying introduction. To date, Jaguar has changed just the fog light internals and the vents at each edge of the front guard, but the plan still looks new. Scarcely any new autos seem like the Jag, either. The supercharged V6 spits the same boisterous note here as it does in other F-sorts, and popping the double mode debilitate into its louder setting amps up the volume to almost hostile levels. Blatting around in a F-type, unnecessarily downshifting just to trigger the resultant reiteration of pops and splits from the fumes, is about as unpretentious as jumping around your front grass in your birthday suit and terminating a 6-shooter at the sky. Is there anything the F-Type 400 Sport does that other 6-barrel F-Types don't? Not by any means, its additional 20 torque and exceptional outline touches aside. That implies the most up-to-date F-Type likewise is hampered by a similar restricted rearward perceivability and a touchscreen that experiences conflicting reactions. The 400 Sport simply gives F-Type purchasers yet another heavenly choice when they stroll into their neighborhood Jaguar dealership. On the off chance that this is some 400 horsepower T, act now T's constrained just to the 2018 model year.